You have cheated on me and I have forgiven you.
That's crazy.
It's the furthest from the truth. I would hope.
You know that's
Is there something I'm missing? Is there something
I'm missing?
No.
Is it the opposite?
Sure, yeah. I've cheated on you with every grocery bagger I've ever met.
That's terrible.
ROTN, let me present to you the ROTN Podcast. The ROTN Podcast.
How do you want me to say it? Rotten.
Good morning. We are back. The ROTN Podcast, baby. What is this, 29?
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like you should know since when you edit, you put the numbers down yourself.
Yeah, this is 29. I know for
sure. All right. Well, it's episode 29. We're doing a special episode where we react to assumptions people make about us.
Yes.
I asked on Instagram for you guys to send in your assumptions about Matt or me or a relationship. I feel like when I'm reading the comments, people assume things about you or I that I just don't think are right also. So I just wanted to maybe talk about them because why not? It sounds super fun.
Yeah. Well, there's no way for people to really know who we are.
I know.
So it's normal for people to assume and stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, we should probably get started because I have to go to horseback riding in 35 minutes.
So let's start off with, we got some on the ROTN Podcast, and one of them I would like to share, which is Tiffany wears the pants. How would you
react to that?
I want to hear your answer.
I feel like we fight for the pants a lot, quite a bit. And it's probably something both of us just aren't willing to give one another. But I grew up in a family where the women are very headstrong, very stubborn, very much runs the entire family. And I've always wanted a boyfriend or a husband that just fights me for it. And I actually don't respect people that don't. I've dated submissive guys and I don't enjoy. I want to be submissive, but I need someone to prove that.
You need someone to force you into submission, but you're not willing to give it up easy.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say you force me into it. You are just also very headstrong.
It's like against your will.
What are your opinions about that?
Yeah, I would say that's probably accurate. I think you like to wear the pants for certain things, and I like to wear the pants for other things.
Yeah, there's definitely things I don't care to wear the pants for. Like I feel like when it comes to our food, I'm a lot more giving and like, yeah, we can eat whatever you want to eat. But then there are things where I'm trying to think when I'm very dominant.
That's tough. I feel like it's very situational.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's anything that, I don't know.
When do I wear the pants? I'm wearing pants right now.
I'm wearing pants right now. We're both wearing white pants right now.
I know. I saw you wearing white and yellow, so I had to.
You're not wearing yellow.
I'm already yellow.
True. Now we're officially matching. I'm trying to think when you're like very adamant about making the decisions. I would say like mostly it comes like probably has to do with stuff with the house because it's your house. It's you bought it, so it's only fair, and I definitely don't try to fight you. There are times where I'm like, I've fought you on certain things, but I give up pretty easily because it's your house.
I mean, it's our house at this point because if we're gonna get married.
No,
but
I know,
yeah,
I know for sure.
I mean, like when it comes to core, I'm sorry, I want it my way.
Yeah,
and it makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. But you've always given me the option to be like, okay, well, if you want something different, then go
buy it.
Go buy it. Go do it. So, yeah.
Okay. Another assumption about us: you fight a lot. Like we fight a lot, which I will say.
Do you think we do?
Not anymore.
I would say that we probably fight more than most people.
Yeah.
But we're very passionate.
For the pants.
Yes, but we're also very passionate people.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that we fight, but we also like love each other more than most couples. Like our level of love and connection is stronger. We have such like a very strong bond between us. There's so much passion there. And so I think that the thing that's good about
our fights stem from us feeling not connected to one another.
Yeah.
And lately we felt very connected to one another.
Yeah.
Like Matt and I are it feels like we're in our honeymoon phase again.
It feels better than our honeymoon phase.
Yeah, I would say that I feel like Matt and I's relationship is stronger than it's ever been. And it took a lot of couples therapy, and it took a lot of us just submitting to one another. Like, I feel like I've been able to like let go and not have to wear the pants as often, and just like relaxing. I feel like I'm just happier in general because of the things I put in place at the beginning of this year, where I'm seeing like the fruits of my labor.
Yeah.
So I'm happier, and I've also seen you happier with your job and like your music and everything else you've been working on, that now when we hang out, we're very present.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I think it has to do with, for sure, us both being happy separately, independently, but also us growing within our relationship, because there are so many different stages. And I feel like we've tackled so many different stages together where most people would break up there. And I would say that, like I've never been happier as a person. Like I feel so good about my health. I've been working so hard on that. I've been working so hard on music, and I'm now starting to see the fruits of the labor that I've been super intentional about at the beginning of the year. I'm like, when I started this year, I was like, in 6 months, if I just keep going at this rate, I know maybe I'm not happy right now, but I know in 6 months I'll be happy and have momentum. So I feel like we're both in a good place where we're independently happy. And I think that is such an important, underrated part of being in a healthy relationship, is independently being happy. And even when we were going through a lot of stuff over the past year, and we were like fighting, and we were launching this podcast and like doing the NFT project.
Yes.
Neither of us were happy independently in our own careers and where things were going. So that it's like, if you have no water to fill into the cup, if there's a cup for us and we have our own cups where we need to put water in, well, if we're not overfilling and we're under our normal, we're going to have nothing to give. So
yeah, I agree. And then on my side, I have a new hobby. I took up horseback riding. I'm starting to finally get really good at it.
You've been looking so good in those videos when you come home and show me. Because I just remember the first time, and I had no way of gauging like, okay, yeah, you're riding a horse. Yeah. And then as you've been getting better and coming home and showing me, I'm like, holy crap. I remember the last video, you were getting a little cocky showing off.
I was going as fast as I could. Yeah.
Yeah. And you looked good. Like when I saw you just moving, it was like, it felt so natural. And then we compared the videos of when you first started to that one.
They were so bad.
It was pretty bad.
I'll post some screenshots of what I used to look like. But the craziest thing is, I thought going into it, horseback riding was going to be so easy. I was going to just do it for 1 month and then somehow jump on a horse, like 3 feet off a horse, realize that my trainer's not going to let me do that. She takes it very seriously, and I had to work really hard on it. And I remember some days I would come home bloody down there, and I remember 1 week I had a scab down there, and I went horseback riding while the scab was there, and it ripped open, and I remember being like, this is so painful, I think I'm going to quit. And then I just got better, and no more scabs, no more chafing. Yeah, so.
And one last quick point on the fighting.
Yes.
Because I think that we do probably fight more than most people, but I do think we've learned how to have healthy fights, which is so important. I think we fight a lot because we also are more honest and open than most people are. Like, you say things to me that maybe other couples and women in relationships wouldn't feel comfortable sharing their feelings or not putting up with stuff. And since both of us are not willing to tolerate certain things, we're very vocal about it, which leads to arguments. But it also leads to us breaking through and clearing our minds rather than going years with keeping stuff in.
I feel like a lot of people are scared to fight because they think the other person will leave if they start fighting. And I feel like for us, we know we're very committed to one another, that no matter what kind of fight we have, even if it's a massive blow up, or if it's a very uncomfortable subject like finances or infidelity or whatever it is, we know we're going to still stick around even if there is a huge blow up, which I think makes us more comfortable being honest.
Yeah. Kind of gives us that room to, which that's why some of the fights are more maybe bigger than normal, because we know that we're committed, so we're not like tiptoeing around our feelings.
I'm not afraid, like I feel like you're not afraid to challenge me and I'm not afraid to challenge you.
Yeah.
And it even comes to our opinions about things. And I think that's why I respect you so much, is that I can be
Thank you.
I don't agree with your feelings about gender neutral bathrooms or I don't know.
I have never.
I know we've never
said
talked about this.
anything.
I'm like bringing up random things people talk about in social media, like abortion or Republicans or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I know I can be like, is that really what you think?
Which I'm not a Republican. I believe in abortion very strongly. It's the reason I'm not a Republican, and I'm totally chill with gender neutral bathrooms. So
yeah, well,
I just need to clarify because those are all things that seem a little negative towards me.
They're not. They're not. We've never
negative,
had
but-
conversations about any of these.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you're not fighting in a relationship,
You're keeping something in, or you're just very,
you don't care that much.
yeah.
You're just
It's either
shoving
one or
something
the-
down. You're
Yeah.
you want to say something about something, you're just too scared to say it. You're pregnant. Someone is assuming that I'm pregnant. Guys, do I look pregnant? I'm getting self-conscious. Don't answer that
Obviously,
question.
you're not pregnant. You don't look pregnant.
I will say I did gain a few pounds though.
No, you didn't.
I have, and I'm fine. By the way, I'm fine with gaining a few pounds. I think I look great with a few pounds added on because I get boobs and a butt finally. I don't love the way my face looks, but I'm happy with the way
Your
my
face
body
looks
looks.
great. What are you talking
Well,
about?
someone just said they think I'm pregnant, which means they think I have a belly.
That's not true. Because you don't really start, even if someone did think that you were pregnant, you don't start showing until when?
Like month 3? They can
I guess they
assume
could
I'm
have
month
assumed-
3.
Yeah, I guess. But I don't think they're saying that based off of your physical appearance because you're very skinny, very healthy.
Thank you. I assume Matt doesn't like how messy you are, Tiffany.
Yes.
Yes.
That is a very accurate assumption. But as I've learned to accept your messiness. There's times where it really
acceptance.
Yes. Radical acceptance for sure. There's certain things that it definitely bothers me for and I'll be vocal about. I mean, speaking of fights, we've definitely gotten a lot of fights about that subject.
A lot of people are assuming this. You guys are trying for a baby. We're not trying for a baby.
But you still have birth control.
Exactly. So it's like it's not like if the birth control magically stopped working, Matt and I would of course want to have the baby and keep it and not do anything bad to it. Because
where are you at with baby making?
if it wasn't so much work to get the next one on taken out and it wasn't so painful and if it wasn't so annoying, if it was a year from now, I think we'd be seriously trying, even if we're not married. I'm like I've always been totally okay. Recently, I've been totally okay with not even being fully married before having babies.
I have no thoughts or reservations about that.
So if I was pregnant right now, you'd be okay?
I wouldn't care.
Really?
I mean, I would care. I would be like stoked, of course. It's definitely my goal to have babies and have a family. And I think as I'm getting older and older, I'm having this natural like urge to have a baby. To procreate. Yeah, it's like a crazy feeling. And I realize like even getting Theo, I think that I enjoy having responsibility. And I think that the thing that excites me most about having a baby is continuing to increase the things that are like most important to me. Being single and sitting around just doing my own thing, I love it, but it seems like it's kind of like there's a bigger purpose here.
Also, this is another reason, not to bring it back to why if we fought, I look at people who are dating and I get like tired for them. I'm just like, I can't imagine being in the dating scene anymore. All right, next assumption is about Matthew. Woo. I assume that Matt is a boy, and I wish we saw his softer side.
If people only knew. That's crazy.
You just look like a boy, apparently.
That's terrible.
Actually, you actually hate looking like a boy because I remember I was on.
I feel like a boy looks like a frat boy.
Okay, so I was on TikTok when I was showing you this guy who had like a cool earring, and I was like, "Oh, you should wear these dangly earrings. They look so cool." He's like, "No, he looks like a boy. I don't want to look like a boy."
Yeah.
So it's funny because apparently people think you're a boy, and that's all
wild.
widely based on
That's
your
crazy.
looks. No,
Furthest thing from a boy.
Matt
My
is
mama
not-
raised me to be an
Donna
angel.
raised you like a nice
And
Midwestern
I don't say that
man.
just like lightly. I actually take pride in
How
my
nice you
kindness and my loyalty and my like honesty as a person.
Yeah.
I really pride myself on that.
You don't let people walk all over you, so you're not in any means like a doormat or anything, but you are so nice. Like you're very nice, and it's probably one of the biggest things I love about you. You can be mean when people push your buttons. And I've seen that side of you where you will stand up for yourself. Whenever you meet my friends, whenever you're meeting anyone, you want to have like a real genuine conversation with them. And you actually...
Yeah, I try to treat, like, I've always really firmly believed that you should treat everybody equal. And it really bothers me when I see people that don't treat people equal.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's
Clout
just
chasers.
people... Yeah, and that's like one of the things that I hate the most about LA and why it's like hard to navigate parties and friendships and stuff like that.
I would say you're just not a boy, and you do have a very soft, gentle...
Yeah. And I think too, people
side.
like, they don't see probably my full personality and stuff because filming and being on camera and stuff, like, I'm new to this as well, you know, and I only put so much out.
Also,
So,
you had an older sister. I swear to Jesus Christ that any guy that has an older sister is just a lot more kind and patient.
I would say a guy
and
that has a younger
nice.
sister. And I do have a younger sister.
No, I think it's the fact that you have an older sister.
Really?
Because I've dated guys without older sisters.
'Cause I feel like the younger-
the saying is if you have a guy that has an older sister, no one says this about a guy that has a younger sister. You're just overprotective and controlling when it comes to your younger sister. But when you have an older sister, she teaches you, like, play with my Barbies with me. Let's play family.
Yeah.
Let's
I guess
do
that's
this.
true because, like, growing up, I did do a lot of things with my older sister, whether it be like watching a certain movie.
She bosses you around.
She wasn't really like that, but yeah, no, I get where you're going, and you're 100% accurate. Like, growing up with women in general, which I have 2 sisters and a mom,
Yeah.
but I also have a brother and a dad, so there was a good balance. But since I always like was like wanting to be like best friends with my older sister, of course I would be watching like Seventh Heaven and like all these like maybe more like girly things. I feel like I learned a lot from Seventh Heaven. I don't know why specifically that, but that was such like a time in my life where I learned about like what alcoholism was, smoking weed.
Didn't you say that's what led to you questioning if alcoholism was in your fam?
They had one episode where one of the family members is an alcoholic, and then the episode kind of ends with one of those things where it's like, if you know an alcoholic that needs help, dial this number. And I remember asking my mom after being like, is dad an alcoholic? And she's like, what do you think? And that's always what she would say to me. It was like, what do you think? And I'm like, I'm asking you.
You probably just thought anyone that was drinking alcohol was an alcoholic.
No, I think you pick up on things. And my dad he's a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah.
He's been sober for, I don't even know how long. It's been like over 10
decades.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
good for him.
I think, as a kid, you're smarter than you probably remember, and you just pick up on things.
The next assumption is you have cheated on me and I have forgiven you.
That's crazy.
It's the furthest from the truth. I would hope.
That's
Is there something I'm missing? Is there something
Is there something
they know?
I'm missing?
No.
Is it the opposite?
Sure. Yeah. I've cheated on you with every grocery bagger I've ever met. I'm hurt.
What? This is bullshit because you're just
assume-
getting to weed out all the ones that you don't want that
No,
are about
they're-
yourself.
They're actually fine. You want me to read the mean ones about you as well?
I want you to go with what you were
Okay.
actually going to pick.
You sit next to each other at restaurants instead of across.
Yes.
Okay, recently we've been sitting next to each other at restaurants, and I'm like, I low-key kind of judge us, but I'm like, you know what? This I love
We
sitting
always
next to
used
you.
to do it when we first started dating. That was a thing that I never knew like about
Was a
that.
thing.
I was like, I'd rather sit across from you to stare at you.
The thrill.
I get the hype.
We like to okay, we're so annoying, but recently we've been like I love putting my one leg on top of yours when we're sitting next to each other at a restaurant. But I will say, because we've re-entered our honeymoon phase, which I heard happens every 5 years, the last 2-3 years of our relationship, we would just sit across, and Matt would always be the one that instigated it, being like, no, I just want to see your face. And I want space to eat.
Well, yeah, that was a big thing, was really the space, because my elbows, And if you're so
but
close,
we were squished at Tatsunoya Ramen the other night.
No, they flipped the table around for us.
But
They actually came out and flipped the table for us.
That was very nice of them.
Yeah, that was cute.
Okay. But I'm hurt because I know what they mean by couples that do this. Those couples are always looked down upon.
Really?
Yeah. It's you guys can't not sit next to each other for an hour.
It sounds like someone jealous who doesn't want to be
It sounds
near
like someone who doesn't have someone they love being next to.
Because why else would you think that?
Okay. I assume your friends didn't like Matt in the beginning and his friends didn't like you. No, my friends loved you.
Yeah, that's pretty very inaccurate.
Yeah. Did your friends love me?
Yeah, 100%.
Do they still love me?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
I feel like one of the reasons also that you started like loving me even more was because of how good of friends I was with your friends.
Yeah.
You know,
actually
like
got along
early
with my
on, you
friends.
saw like, whoa, he's like becoming their friend. And that wasn't something like in the past you had told me like with your relationships, your ex wasn't as much friends with your friends or maybe didn't fit in as much, where I feel like I've built good, strong relationships with your friends like pretty early on.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like something that I know you valued.
Yeah, I feel like you can just talk to them and get along with them and have a normal conversation and not feel awkward or any sort of way about it. So I really like that. I love the fact that I can bring you along and not be embarrassed about you, because I've had situations where I bring a boyfriend along and he embarrasses me. He has bad manners or can't hold the conversation or is really shy, or I'm having to take care of him all night. Because
I can't imagine that. Like
it's
you
so much
doing
effort.
that.
Yeah, I used to have to just talk to my exes in the corner because they didn't want to mingle with anyone. Which I get that, because
I get
sometimes
that,
I'm
yeah.
like that as
Sometimes,
well.
Yeah, either of us are like that.
But when it like comes to like showing up, being like, no, I need you to show
yeah,
up.
like an event, a
Yeah.
dinner, da da da.
You can show up.
Likewise.
You have sex every night.
No. I feel like when we first started dating,
Yes.
we were definitely.
Yeah.
But again, I think things go through different phases, and
I mean, there was a point, I would say, in our relationship when we were so busy last year that was maybe like once every 3 weeks. It was very sporadic, very far and few between. I would say now, not that anyone needs to know our sex life now, I would say it's like 3 or 4 times a week now.
yeah,
My body's hating you for it. I don't know why.
or loving me.
No,
either
like,
one.
TMI, guys. But, you know, girls, we all go through this. I have been getting UTIs and it sucks. And so Matt and I are just taking a nice needed break for my body.
TMI.
So TMI. Matt is the bossy one. No. Also, I've never seen a girl call a guy bossy.
You got so mad at me one time for saying that. I had no idea there was like a whole
Yeah,
connotation
because you
to
don't
saying
ever call
bossy.
guys bossy. Have you ever called? This is very rare. That's why I had to point it out. It's like, people don't call guys bossy. They call girls bossy. That Matt can be manipulative, controlling, and overprotective. A lot of them are about you.
Jesus, people really got it out for me. I guess they don't know the type. Of
They don't
person I am.
they don't know you that well. Oh, I should probably answer this.
Yeah.
Matt is not manipulative. Far from it. Controlling, I wouldn't say you're controlling about like what I wear or anything, but you get overprotective for sure when guys come around me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're a little-
I'm
you're a
very
little
gullible.
treasure.
I'm very gullible. So when a guy comes up to me, I just think he's being nice and just wants to be friends. And I don't notice social cues when people are trying to hit on me, because I genuinely just like don't believe I'm like the prettiest girl in the room,
You're
or that I'm
fucking
deserving of
insane.
being.
You're crazy.
And I'm
You're a
not,
catch.
I'm very confident, but I'm just like, I don't think guys are thinking of me that way, just because I don't think of guys that way when I'm hanging out with guys, right? I'm like, oh, friends, new people. Oh, I want to know about your life.
I would say it's a very tricky area for everyone to navigate that kind of dynamic.
Okay, this one's about me. I assume you're insecure about your income compared to your friends. Not sure which friends you're relating to, but I feel like
Probably your YouTube friends.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's because I'm comparing them to me. I think it's almost an insecurity in my own self, because I'm comparing it to myself.
I feel like we all have that sort of insecurity. And I would say one of the things actually that surprised me most when we started dating was how not insecure you are, like how secure you are with your own thing. Because I'm like, damn, some of your friends are doing huge things and maybe you're not doing things at that level yet.
Me?
No, you know what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
And I was always really impressed with how you ever felt insecure by that kind of stuff. Like, you've always been so supportive of your friends, and it's never been at the expense of your own success or finance. And I don't think you compare yourself that much. I think it's a very natural tendency. Hold on.
Yeah.
And I will say, in comparison to most people are very insecure. Most people really compare. Most people have a hard time giving people flowers and clapping for them when they do stuff good, because it's like an expense for them and they want to get even and level up.
Yeah.
But I would say you are so far from that type of person.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like comparing is like the death of people. Like, you can't compare yourself to other people. I just compare myself to my own self, which is very detrimental in its own way. But
Yeah.
when you think about it, it's so subjective, because maybe to my YouTube friends, I don't make that much, but compared to my family, my friends outside of YouTube, I
Yeah.
make incredible money, and I'm so happy with it. And
Yeah.
also financially, I've made amazing decisions where I don't feel insecure. I know that if I literally got canceled tomorrow, I don't know why I would ever get canceled, but if I got canceled tomorrow, I have like 5-10 years of finances that can
That's
carry me
insane.
through. So
That's
I'm
nuts.
like, and I know in the next 5-10 years I can do something else and make money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not financially insecure in any way. But of course I would love to know, like,
Well, there's
make
been so
more
many
money,
times where I'm like,
but-
does that like make you feel a type of way? And you're always like, no, what do you mean? Like, I'm happy for her. And I'm like, oh, I would maybe be a little like insecure, compare a little bit about certain things. I don't know.
I just feel like if you're not completely happy with yourself and who you are, maybe you do compare yourself to other people. But for me,
Yeah.
like, I can see girls are prettier than me, more successful than me,
You're
richer
crazy.
than me, whatever it may be, smarter than me. But I don't think of it anything less than me. I'm like, oh, like that just means there's 2 pretty people in the room. There's 2 rich girls in the room.
Right.
There's 2 smart girls in the room.
I would say for me, that's been something that I've had to work on, because I've always like compared myself, and especially with music, it's so hard not to compare.
Yeah.
We're constantly like, I had to take so much time off of TikTok, like pretty much for a year, because I would see people like having success and being able to focus on music when I couldn't maybe at the time as much. It would make me feel like absolute ass.
I guess, yeah, maybe you take that and you feel like down about yourself, but I look at people who are doing better than me and I'm like, aspirational,
Yeah.
inspiration. Wow, I can't wait to be doing those things as
Yeah.
well. But that's just because I believe that I'll always get there.
No, and I do too. Like
Yeah.
a lot of times I'll be like, oh my God, this motivates the shit out of me. Like seeing what Russ is doing or seeing what other people are doing. It's like, it inspires me because I know that I'll be there. But there are times where for sure I'll compare and feel less than.
All right. Next question / assumption. Matt is only with you and wants to marry you because of your money. No, it's my face.
Definitely your face. Absolutely not. That is the least.
Would
like,
you still
I feel
marry
like
me
we're
if I went broke?
Yeah. As long as it didn't affect like
I
how
don't
you
think I
saw
would marry
yourself.
you if you went broke.
I'm not like expecting or relying on your finances. So if you like went broke, I would be like, perfect.
But then
Stay
we'd
at
have to
home.
move out of the house and couldn't.
No, because I'm going to step up.
I assume that you like Matt more than he likes you, and you are barely holding on to him. I mean, I don't mean to laugh. I just think it's crazy how like people, like we share in the podcast and people just still don't know us or a relationship. Am I barely holding on to you? Should I hold on harder?
Well, clearly you think it's laughable.
Should I not laugh?
Maybe I do need to put a little, pressure on you. You seem a little too comfortable.
I'm very comfortable and
Yeah,
happy
you're
in our
laughing.
relationship.
I got to keep you on your toes a little bit, Missy. You're definitely not holding on by a thread by any means.
I assume you guys are the couple that looks through each other's phones.
What do you have to say about that?
I have a really funny story and I want to end it on this. Yes, Matt and I have looked through each other's phones before. Let's just start there.
Yes.
Both times without the other person knowing, which is very embarrassing. And for me, it was a one and done deal. And I literally looked at it. I got to set the scene and then I got to go. But this is hilarious. And
I've been waiting to hear this
I
story.
know,
You've been
and
telling me you have a story about this, and I've been waiting.
I'm finally telling it. Okay, so Matt went to Vegas with his brother, his sister, and some of their friends. And I wasn't going because my sister was in town and we were going to go to Vegas on our own trip like a day or two after him.
Right. We literally passed on the highway.
Literally passed on the highway. It was hilarious. And one of these nights, Matt is, of course, drunk out with his friends, doesn't text me, doesn't FaceTime me, texts me at like 4 a.m. being like, just fell asleep, sorry, whatever. And I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this feeling. I don't know what he was up to. But of course, I also trust him. And
Not enough, apparently.
okay, so 3 weeks later, I have this dream and I wake up from this dream. And of course, it's a dream where Matt is cheating on me. And I'm like, why am I feeling this way? I wake up from this dream feeling really insecure. And Matt was dead freaking asleep. And it was like maybe 6 a.m. So like early mornings of summer, because it was in May or June. And I see your phone and it happened to be between us. You normally have your phone on the nightstand, but this day...
So you didn't crawl over me?
I did not crawl over you. No. I have your phone and I'm like, do I do it? Do I not do it? Do I do it or do I not do this? And mind you, Matt writes in his journal every single day. You're very in tune with your emotions, which I love.
My journal.
Okay. No. Stop right there. I unlock your phone. I open up Evernote and I try to scroll to that specific day. And before I can do it, I have these I'm like going in slow motion. I'm like, am I going to do it? Am I not? Am I going to do it? Or am I not? And I literally open the day that I wanted to see, right? And it was like the longest page ever. And I'm looking at it and I start reading literally the first paragraph. And you mother start tossing and turning in bed. And you literally wake up and you go, where's my phone? Do you have my phone? And I'm like, oh, your phone is right here. So you're the one that stopped me. But the thing is, the phone was opened up to Evernote. So if you unlocked your phone, you would see Evernote was on it. And I was freaking out. I was like, he's going to know that I looked. He's going to know that I looked. So what I do is I gave you your phone. You like looked at it for 2 seconds maybe. And I grabbed it out of your hands and I go, no phone. We're going to lay in bed. And I'm struggling to figure out what to do. And you grab it out of my hand. You're like, no, I want my phone. And so I do the only thing I know how to do is I start making out with you.
Wow.
I initiate fun playtime with you.
Wow.
And
ill intent.
While we're initiating, I am frantically I am putting the blankets on top of you and I am frantically opening up your phone and I can't do it in time. So I shut your phone off. Thinking that would prevent Evernote from popping up on your phone. And so all of a sudden you finish and you go to the bathroom. And while you're going to the bathroom, I shut my own phone off and then I turn it back on. And I see that the app is still going to open up to the same app that was opened previously before you shut it off. So it's too late now. It's too late. So you come out back from the bathroom. And when you come back, I am trying to turn your phone back on. You go south again. And I say to you, I want to film some stuff. Only to have your phone in my hand. And when your phone is in my hand, I turn it back on, use your password, exit off Evernote, and literally we just do it afterwards. And that was the one and only time I've ever looked through your phone.
So sneaky.
Sneaky. And
that is the sneakiest shit I've ever heard.
I know. And I love you very much. And that was the one and only time. It lasted for 10 seconds. I'm very sad. I never got to see what was on that date.
I could pull up that date.
I know. And I know nothing happened.
That is hilarious.
But that was like the one time I had insecurity. And I think we should just end the assumptions on that.
Let's end it on that. Jesus.
All right. I have to go to horseback riding, but I hope you guys enjoyed this special episode. This was so fun for me to film. Maybe we should do a part 2 because there's a lot more that I didn't get to.
We can save it for sure.
Maybe when I'm in Europe or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, if you guys haven't already, give us those 5 stars, baby.
Yes.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.